Here we go. Let's try this again. Reactivity to strangers. I believe us. Okay. So it's not a fearful. Luke, get out. Quit messing with the gate. You know better. Um, it's not. To me, it didn't look super fearful. Um, and Sage doesn't have a problem with it. He's just my guinea pig. Oh, buddy. He's just my guinea pig. Um, so I believe I saw that there's an X pin, right? So what you would do is you would have him enclosed in the X pin when the people come. So sometimes the gate itself makes him feel a little safer. So that in itself might get him to not uh, react to him, right? Um, Oscar, you gonna be good, or do you need this cover? Here, let me use this. Hold on, hold on. Let me pause this. Sometimes Oscar is a butthead. Okay, so where was I? So I'm doing with the X pin, and then I'm also gonna do show the leash way, which is making him disengage by using a leash. That's going to be a little bit harder because you're going to have to use your imagination for it. Okay. So one key is the people have to ignore the dog, right? And it's a good idea to give them some treats, right? So I take this from. I used to do this at the shelter at the cage doors, right? So it's kind of the same thing. Dog's in there, say he's barking. You're not looking at the dog, but you can approach, right? And then you just get up close. See, I'm not looking. And and if you get close, you just kind of sit down and then you can talk. Then when the dog shuts up, what do you want? What do you want, cute guy? When the dog shuts up, you would do this, right? So say the dog's barking. You don't get up and walk away because then you reinforce this bark. Because this bark isn't a fearful bark. It's a it's an unsure bark, right? So if they're unsure and they bark at you and you go away, you just reinforce that bark. So you approach in a non-threatening kind of turn kind of little sideways and don't face them, right? So now the dog has shut up. He's like smelled me and now he's shut up. Then you would do this. You take the treats, you throw back away, and then you come over and do whatever you want. Does that make sense? And then say right now the dog starts barking again. I would go back up to it, right, and do the same thing. You don't have. You can offer your hand. People say don't do that. It doesn't matter. They don't need it. But if you do it, you don't go like this. Right? Oh, hi, cute puppy. Right? That's a no-no. Right? So say the dog's barking again. La 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 la. Then now they take their treats. They toss behind them. Boom. Now you go away. Right? And the key is to go away after he's quieted. Right? So then now let's show you the leash method. Watch out, right? Again, you're gonna have treats, right? Settle down. Hey, get over here. So the people come in the door, right? You have a dog on the leash. The dog starts barking. You pull him away, and you can treat as you walk away. I I've noticed that usually it takes a few times, right? And then now the dog stops barking. If he's still looking that way, you have to keep walking if at all possible, right? He's got to follow you. Then once the dog stops barking, now you can reapproach the people. The people still have to ignore him. As soon as he starts barking, it's this way. Just turn and walk away. Right? Right? This way. You can reapproach. He starts barking, bark, bark, whoop, this way. Right? Usually after a few turns, now they start taking food. I don't like using food initially unless they'll take it. I've just noticed usually the first time or two, they're not going to take it because it's too high of an arousal. So they're not going to take it. So now that we've done it through, we reapproach, starts barking again. Now, oftentimes we can food. And then if he's taking food on the disengagement, then now this way, once he starts taking food on the disengagement, Now, as you approach, you can give food. I wouldn't have the people give food. I would give the food, right? And then, so you're rewarding him being calm and good, right? Now, if he starts barking, boom, again, right? You said a good boy. So it's all always disengaging. So see how he's still looking back? Say that that person was there, you would still keep going because he's looking back. Now he's turned away. Yeah, good boy, right? So then now, I think that covered it. Um, so okay, so once the dog is taking food, I would I would reward going up. Then now say we got here and he's not reacting to the people. Now the people they can drop food right here. Boom boom boom. Right? So he sees the people are giving him food in the direction, and then before he starts to freak out, you can go, okay. So it would then disengage again, and you would reward the disengagement. Right? That makes sense? Usually, once that happens, you're not going to have a problem. Right? So once he's taken food from you, you can reward the approach. Right? Boom, boom, boom. And then do another disengagement, and then the people can start dropping food. If the dog looks good enough that people can offer the food, typically that's going to take a few different visits, right? So you want the people to not put the pressure of sticking their hand right there. Now they can try, but they might, if the dog starts to back up, you can just drop it on the ground. Makes sense? But don't be like, oh, come on, take the food, which is what we tend to try to do. We try to do too much. Um, I probably missed something. I'll have to think about it and put it in the description, but I think I might have got it all. It's if you have X-Men, that's good, and then if not, it's leash, right? And once you do a few where visitors come and he's really good on the leash, then you start trying without the leash. And it'll be the same thing. Have him back away from the door, a good distance. That way, when they come in, he can decompress or he can see that it's no big deal. And he might even look at you. You can reward that, and then you can approach. Oh, buddy, ready for crate stuff?